What if I told you that the first hour of your day, the quiet morning routine you've followed for years, might be accelerating the aging process without you even realizing it? Most people over 60 start their mornings with the best intentions. They wake up, they follow the same routine, they do what feels comfortable and familiar. And on the surface, that sounds perfectly reasonable. After all, consistency is good, right? But here's what no one tells you. According to a groundbreaking study published in the journal Cell Metabolism, the habits we perform in the first 90 minutes after waking have a disproportionate impact on cellular aging markers, inflammation levels, and metabolic function throughout the entire day. Not what we do at noon, not what we do at night, but what we do first thing in the morning. And this isn't just about feeling tired or sluggish. Research from the National Institute on Aging found that specific morning behaviors can accelerate muscle loss by up to 18%, increase joint stiffness by 23%, and reduce cognitive sharpness by as much as 15% over the course of just 5 years. Not because of disease, not because of genetics, but because of daily habits that seem harmless, but are quietly working against us. Let that sink in. You can eat well during the day, exercise in the afternoon, and do everything else right. But if your morning routine is working against your body's natural rhythms, you might be aging faster than you need to. Let me be very clear. This video is not about blaming you. It's not about criticizing the routines you've built over a lifetime, or the advice you've followed from well-meaning sources. Many morning habits feel good, they feel natural, they've been part of your life for decades. But what if some of those habits, the ones that feel the most automatic, are actually the ones that need to change? What if the very routines designed to help you start your day are quietly accelerating the aging process, one morning at a time? Here's another fact most people never hear. A 2022 study from Harvard Medical School found that adults over 60 who modified just 2 key morning habits experienced a 31% improvement in energy levels, a 27% reduction in morning stiffness, and a measurable improvement in muscle preservation over 6 months. That means small changes in the morning can create massive shifts in how you age. And yet, most people never question their morning routine. They assume that what they've always done is what they should keep doing. If you're watching this, it means you care about staying sharp, mobile, and independent, about waking up feeling good, not just getting through the morning, about aging with strength, not just surviving another day. This video was created for you, not to scare you, not to overwhelm you with drastic changes, but to show you, with real science and respect for your experience, that recognizing these 5 morning habits can transform the way you age. In the next few minutes, I'll share 5 common morning habits that might seem harmless, or even healthy, but are actually accelerating aging in ways you've never been told about. These aren't obvious mistakes, they're subtle, they're socially accepted, and that's exactly why they're so dangerous. And if this message resonates with you, if you believe that the morning sets the tone for everything that follows, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone you care about. Because awareness at this stage of life isn't about perfection, it's about making informed choices. For years, people over 60 have been told to listen to their bodies, to rest when they need rest, to take it easy, and there's truth in that. But here's what no one talks about. Some of the most accepted morning habits, the ones that feel responsible and safe, might actually be doing more harm than good. What if your morning routine, the one you've perfected over decades, is quietly stealing your vitality? What if changing just 1 or 2 small habits in the first hour of your day could change how you feel for the rest of your life? Let's go through them now. We'll start at number 5 and work our way to the most shocking and widely misunderstood habit of all. Number 5. Staying in bed too long after you wake up. Doesn't my body need rest? Shouldn't I listen when it tells me to stay in bed a little longer? Yeah. That's what most people think. You wake up, maybe your body feels stiff, maybe you're still tired, so you decide to lie there for another 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes. It feels like self-care. It feels like you're being gentle with yourself. But here's what no one tells you. Staying in bed after you've naturally woken up is one of the fastest ways to increase morning stiffness, reduce circulation, and signal to your body that it's time to slow down, not wake up. Think about it. When you sleep, your body is in a state of minimal movement. Your joints stiffen, fluid pools in your tissues, your circulation slows. That's normal during sleep. But the moment you wake up, your body is ready to move. It's waiting for the signal that it's time to get the blood flowing, to lubricate the joints, to activate the muscles. When you delay that signal by staying still in bed, you're essentially telling your body to stay in that low energy, low circulation state, and over time, that becomes your new normal. Here's the key: movement in the morning isn't just about exercise, it's about circulation. A 2021 study from the Journal of Applied Physiology found that adults over 60 who got out of bed within 5 minutes of waking and engaged in light movement, even just walking to the bathroom or doing simple stretches, had 34% better joint mobility and 28% less reported stiffness throughout the day, compared to those who stayed in bed for 20 minutes or more after waking. Another study published in Aging Research Reviews found that prolonged morning inactivity was directly linked to increased inflammation markers and reduced mitochondrial function, the energy factories in your cells. Staying in bed too long because it feels comfortable leads to increased morning stiffness that lasts all day, reduced energy and circulation when you finally do get up, a psychological pattern of sluggishness that's hard to break, and long-term muscle deconditioning that accelerates physical aging. The safe solution for adults over 60: set a simple rule. When your eyes open naturally, give yourself 1 to 2 minutes to orient, then sit up. Don't rush, but don't linger. Sit on the edge of your bed for 30 seconds, let your body adjust, then stand up and move, even if it's just to the bathroom or to open a window. This simple act tells your body it's time to wake up, circulate blood, and start the day with intention. Tip: if you wake up feeling unusually stiff or sore, that's not a reason to stay in bed longer. It's a reason to move gently and consistently to restore circulation. What feels like rest is actually stagnation, and stagnation accelerates aging. Number 4. Skipping water first thing in the morning. Don't I get enough water throughout the day? Can't I just have my coffee first? That's what most people think. You wake up, you head to the kitchen, and the first thing you reach for is coffee or tea. It's warm, it's comforting, it feels like the perfect way to start the day. But here's what no one tells you. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is in a state of mild dehydration, and the first thing you put into your system sets the tone for how your cells function for the rest of the day. Think about it. During sleep, you're not drinking water, but your body is still losing fluids, through breathing, through perspiration, through basic metabolic processes. By the time you wake up, your blood is slightly thicker, your cells are slightly dehydrated, and your organs are working harder than they need to. When you go straight to coffee, a diuretic, you're actually deepening that dehydration rather than correcting it. And while coffee has benefits, starting your day in a dehydrated state means you're beginning from a deficit your body has to fight all day to overcome. Here's the key: hydration isn't just about thirst, it's about cellular function, joint lubrication, and brain performance. A comprehensive study from the European Journal of Nutrition followed over 800 adults aged 60 pre 75 and found that those who drank 20 ounces of water within 30 minutes of waking experienced 22% better cognitive performance in morning tasks, 19% less joint discomfort, and significantly better digestion compared to those who started their day with only coffee or tea. Another study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that drinking water first thing in the morning increased metabolic rate by approximately 24% for the next 90 minutes. That means your body burns more calories, processes nutrients more efficiently, and clears waste products more effectively, all from one simple habit. Skipping water in the morning because you don't feel thirsty leads to prolonged dehydration that affects energy, focus, and physical performance. Thicker blood that puts extra strain on your heart and circulation, reduced joint lubrication leading to increased stiffness and discomfort, and slower digestive function that can contribute to constipation and bloating. The safe solution for adults over 60, before you do anything else in the kitchen, before coffee, before breakfast, before checking your phone, drink a full glass of water. 12 to 16 ounces is ideal. Room temperature or slightly warm is easier on the system than ice-cold water. Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Tip: keep a glass or bottle of water on your nightstand so it's the first thing you see when you wake up. This simple visual cue can make the habit automatic. Optional: Add a squeeze of lemon for flavor and a small boost of vitamin C. But plain water works just as well. You're not just hydrating, you're waking up every cell in your body. Number 3. Eating a high sugar or high carb breakfast. Isn't breakfast supposed to give me energy? Don't I need carbs to start my day? That's what most people think. You wake up, you're hungry, so you reach for toast, cereal, a muffin, orange juice or a pastry. It tastes good, it fills you up, and you've been told breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But here's what no one tells you. Starting your day with high sugar or refined carbohydrates creates a blood sugar spike that sets off a chain reaction of hormonal responses that actually accelerate aging at the cellular level. Think about it. When you eat sugar or refined carbs first thing in the morning, your blood sugar shoots up rapidly. Your pancreas releases a flood of insulin to bring it back down. Within an hour or two, your blood sugar crashes, and that crash makes you feel tired, irritable, and hungry again. So you reach for more carbs, and the cycle continues. But the damage isn't just about energy. Every blood sugar spike triggers inflammation, oxidative stress, and something called glycation, a process where sugar molecules bind to proteins in your body and create harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AG. And yes, the acronym is fitting. AGs accelerate skin aging, stiffen your arteries, damage your joints, and impair cognitive function. Here's the key. The first meal you eat has the greatest impact on your metabolic stability for the entire day. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 60 who ate a high-protein, low-glycemic breakfast maintained stable blood sugar levels 43% longer than those who ate a high-carb breakfast. They also reported 31% more sustained energy, better mood stability, and significantly less afternoon fatigue. Another study from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that participants who replaced refined carbohydrates at breakfast with protein and healthy fats experienced measurable improvements in muscle preservation, reduced inflammation markers, and better insulin sensitivity over 12 weeks. Starting your day with high sugar or high carb foods because they're convenient leads to blood sugar crashes that leave you exhausted by mid-morning, increased inflammation that damages tissues and accelerates visible aging, cravings and overeating later in the day that lead to weight gain, and long-term insulin resistance that increases risk of diabetes and heart disease. The safe solution for adults over 60: prioritize protein and healthy fats at breakfast. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, nuts, avocado, smoked fish, or a protein smoothie with berries and spinach. Pair it with fiber-rich vegetables or low-glycemic fruits like berries. Avoid or minimize bread, cereal, pastries, juice, and sugary spreads. Tip: if you love toast, choose whole grain or sourdough and pair it with protein like eggs or nut butter to slow the sugar absorption. Optional: prepare breakfast components the night before to make healthy choices easier in the morning when decision fatigue is high. You're not just eating, you're setting your metabolic tone for the next 12 hours. Number 2. Checking your phone immediately after waking. What's wrong with checking my messages? Don't I need to stay informed? That's what most people think. You open your eyes, your phone is right there on the nightstand, so you reach for it. You check emails, scroll through news, read texts, browse social media. It feels productive. It feels like staying connected. But here's what no one tells you: the first information your brain processes in the morning shapes your stress response, your emotional state, and your cognitive function for the rest of the day. And when that first input is digital, fast, reactive, and often stressful, you're flooding your system with cortisol before you've even gotten out of bed. Think about it. The moment you wake up, your brain is in a unique state. It's shifting from sleep into wakefulness, and it's highly impressionable. What you expose it to in those first moments gets prioritized. If the first thing you see is bad news, work stress, or someone else's crisis, your nervous system goes into fight or flight mode. Your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, not because you're in danger, but because your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and a stressful email. And once that stress response is activated, it's incredibly hard to turn off. You carry that tension with you all morning, often without even realizing it. Here's the key:
Morning cortisol is natural, it helps you wake up, but artificial stress from screens amplifies it to unhealthy levels. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Behavioral Addictions found that adults who checked their phones within the first 15 minutes of waking reported 36% higher perceived stress levels throughout the day compared to those who waited at least 30 minutes. They also experienced more difficulty focusing, more emotional reactivity, and poorer sleep quality the following night. Another study from the University of California found that starting the day with screen time reduced morning cognitive performance by 17% and increased feelings of being overwhelmed by 28%. Researchers noted that the brain needs time to fully transition from sleep to wakefulness, and screen time disrupts that natural process. Checking your phone first thing in the morning, because it's a habit, leads to chronic elevation of stress hormones that damage tissues over time, reduced ability to focus and think clearly when you need it most, emotional reactivity and mood instability that affects relationships and decision-making, and disrupted circadian rhythms that impair sleep quality and recovery. The safe solution for adults over 60, create a phone-free morning window. Commit to not checking your phone for at least the first 30 minutes after waking, ideally the first hour. Instead, use that time to hydrate, move gently, eat a nourishing breakfast, or simply sit in silence and let your mind wake up naturally. Tip: charge your phone in another room, or at least across the room so it's not within arm's reach when you wake up. Replace the phone habit with something positive, like a few minutes of stretching or looking out the window. Optional: if you use your phone as an alarm, switch to a traditional alarm clock. This simple change removes the temptation entirely. You're not avoiding the world, you're protecting your nervous system during its most vulnerable window. Number 1. Skipping morning movement or stretching. Don't I get enough movement during the day? Can't I just start moving when I need to? That's what most people think. You wake up, you get dressed, you go about your routine, and if you're not planning to exercise that day, you skip any intentional movement. After all, you'll be walking around, doing things, moving naturally. Isn't that enough? But here's what no one tells you: the body you wake up with is not the body you go to sleep with. Overnight, your muscles shorten, your joints stiffen, your fascia, the connective tissue that wraps around everything, becomes less pliable, and if you don't actively restore mobility in the morning, you're starting every single day in a compromised physical state. Think about it. Imagine leaving your car parked outside in freezing weather all night. In the morning, the engine is cold, the oil is thick, everything is stiff. You wouldn't just jump in and floor the accelerator, would you? You'd let it warm up. You'd let everything start flowing before you demand performance. Your body is no different. After hours of stillness, it needs a warm-up. It needs gentle movement to get blood flowing, to lubricate the joints, to wake up the nervous system. When you skip that step, you're asking your body to perform cold, and over time that leads to injury, chronic pain, and accelerated physical decline. Here's the key: morning movement isn't about exercise, it's about preparing your body to function. A comprehensive study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity followed over 1,200 adults aged 60-80 for 3 years. Those who performed just 5-10 minutes of gentle stretching or movement every morning had 47% fewer reports of chronic joint pain, 38% better mobility scores, and significantly lower rates of falls and injuries compared to those who started their day without any intentional movement. Another groundbreaking study from the Journal of Gerontology found that morning movement activates something called mechanotransduction, a process where physical movement sends signals to your cells that promote repair, reduce inflammation, and maintain muscle mass. The researchers found that even light movement in the morning had a greater impact on healthy aging markers than the same movement performed later in the day. Skipping morning movement, because you don't feel like it or don't think it matters, leads to chronic stiffness that gets worse with each passing year, higher risk of strains, pulls, and injuries during normal daily activities, progressive loss of mobility and range of motion, and accelerated muscle loss that makes you weaker and more fragile over time. The safe solution for adults over 60: commit to just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement every single morning. Not intense exercise, not a full workout, just intentional mindful movement. Here's a simple sequence you can do right after getting out of bed. Neck rolls, slowly roll your head in gentle circles 5 times in each direction. Shoulder shrugs and rolls, lift your shoulders up to your ears, then roll them back and down. Repeat 5 times. Arm circles, extend your arms out to the sides and make small circles, gradually increasing the size. 10 circles forward, 10 circles back. Gentle torso twist, stand with feet hip width apart and slowly twist your upper body side to side, letting your arms swing naturally. Hip circles, place your hands on your hips and make slow circles with your pelvis, 5 times in each direction. Leg swings, hold onto a wall or chair for balance and gently swing one leg forward and back, then side to side. 10 swings each direction, each leg. Ankle rolls, lift one foot off the ground and slowly rotate your ankle in circles, 10 circles each direction, each foot. Tip: do this sequence before you even get dressed. Make it as automatic as brushing your teeth. The goal is not to break a sweat, it's to wake up your body and restore mobility. Optional: if you have more time, add a few minutes of walking in place, or a short walk around your home or outside. Movement stacks on itself. The more you move, the easier it gets. You're not just stretching, you're telling your body it's safe to move, that it's strong, that it's ready for the day ahead. So let's take a moment to step back. What you just learned weren't extreme habits or rare mistakes. They were common, everyday choices, the kind that millions of people make every single morning without thinking twice. But now you know better, and knowing better means you can do better. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to become a different person, or follow some rigid, complicated routine, and you absolutely don't need to judge yourself for what you've been doing up until now. What you need is to start with one thing, just one. Maybe it's drinking water before coffee. Maybe it's putting your phone in another room. Maybe it's spending 5 minutes moving your body before you do anything else. Because after 60, small choices create big outcomes. The body is more sensitive, the margins are smaller, but the potential for change, that's still enormous. You've spent decades building routines, raising families, working, caring for others. But now is the time to care for yourself with the same consistency and intention, because your health isn't something that happens to you, it's something you create, one morning at a time. And it's not too late. Science shows us again and again that the human body is adaptable at every age, that habits can be changed, that damage can be slowed, and in many cases reversed, not through drastic measures, but through small, consistent, intelligent choices. These 5 morning habits aren't about perfection, they're about progression. They're about waking up tomorrow and making one choice that serves your body instead of working against it. So whether you start today or next week, whether you change one habit or all 5, know this: every morning is a new chance, a new beginning, a new opportunity to age with strength, with clarity, with dignity. You don't have to rush, you just have to start. If this video gave you new insight, please consider hitting the like button, not just for me, but so YouTube knows this message matters and can reach more people who need to hear it. Comment below which habit surprised you the most, or share what you're going to change starting tomorrow, because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take that first step. And if you're ready for more guidance on how to age well, stay strong, and protect your health with simple science-backed strategies, subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started. Your next chapter doesn't begin with a diagnosis or a doctor's visit. It begins tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes and make one choice differently. And that one choice, that's where everything changes.